Don King is certainly the most colorful, if not the most successful boxing promoter in the sport today. He is almost always in the midst of a highly publicized business deal or a controversy of some sort. A fascinating man who's led an equally fascinating life. Please welcome Don King. Yes, sir. Does Jane know you have that? Oh. Nice to see you.
It's nice to be here, David.
Let's just start at the beginning. Tell me, what exactly does a boxing promoter do?
Well, a boxing promoter puts together an attraction that would be big enough that people want to come and see, and then you construct a business deal around that attraction so that you can make money for the people that are participating and make some for yourself.
Yeah. Now let's talk about money. Now, let's take the Cooney Holmes fight. Is that going to happen?
Yes, it is.
When is that going to be?
It is definitely going to happen on June the 11th. It's going to be a spectacular that the world is awaiting.
You're doing a little promoting here, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely.
But there's somebody was injured. Mr. Cooney tore a muscle or something. Is that the delay in this bout?
He had a hurt shoulder, and now it has repaired itself, and he's doing very well. And he's now making a tour across the country and letting people see him, that he really exists and he lives, he's ready, and he's waiting to try to win the
Now, why is he doing that? He's traveling across the country to show people that his shoulder's okay?
No, to show that he's okay, you know, because people begin to have doubt.
Yeah.
And uncertainty is a lethal disease in promotion.
Oh, I see.
You must establish stability, credibility, and that it will happen, and it will happen. Holmes will be there on June 11th against Jerry Cooney.
So, meanwhile, you got this guy going town to town announcing that he's okay.
Well, they go around just to make public appearances and to do public workouts. And Larry Holmes will be doing the same thing.
Now, this was your idea?
No, it's my idea, yes.
Yeah. Okay, now, getting back to the money.
It's a group of us, you know. I like to give everybody a little play, you know.
How much is Holmes going to make on this?
$10 million.
Now, how much is Cooney going to make for this?
$10 million.
Now, these guys, $20 million bucks. Now, is this monopoly money, Don? Is this, I mean, you know what I'm saying? 20 million, is that really 20 million, or is it just 20 million? You know, I mean...
this is United States currency.
But where...
Do it all over the world.
Nobody has $20 million.
Well, not today, but on June 11th we will.
But now where, and I'm not really good at business, but where are you going to get the 20 million bucks?
Well, we're going to market and merchandise this fight. You know, it's sponsored by Camel, and it's going to be a Camel Crown event. And we're going to merchandise it around the world. We sell the television rights into foreign countries. We're going to do closed circuit here in the United States. And we're going to have a live gate at Caesar's Palace. The largest live gate ever in the history of boxing is $6.2 million guarantee. And with that, and along with all the other ancillary rights that we can market...
Ancillary rights meaning?
Anything you could do, T-shirts, banners, you know, boxing gloves, trunks, and whatever you can do with the hoop, you get your hands on to sell. And merchandise with these guys, we're going to do it, and it's going to grow somewhere around $50 million.
Do you find now that the state of boxing is suspect more so than ever before, or is the image pretty good?
I think the image is very good at this particular time. It used to be that the old movies, Cagney and all of them, he'd be blind on Fifth Avenue in a newsstand, his brother be playing Chopin at Carnegie Hall, and they say the rosin got in his eyes. You know, he was the boxer that supported his kid brother to go through school to become a concert pianist. And then you would see the movies where the guy have a gun in the corner and say, I'm going to kill your mother if you don't go and take a dive. You know what I mean? So they put a real bad image. Hollywood had a lot to do with that, along with the things that were happening.
Well, now, I mean, there was some shady stuff going on.
Oh,
I mean, it's not only, you can't lay it off on Hollywood. I mean,
well, that was part of it because Hollywood did the exposure. It's just like boxing yesterday. When you do it in one arena, you could only get the live gate. Now we do boxing and go around the world. We could do a boxing match right here in the studio.
But there was, in fact, Jake LaMotta in this very chair mentioned the fact that he at one time had tossed a fight to get a chance at a title shot. Does that go on still these days?
No, that was yesterday. Today it's a new day.
No, today is a new day. Well, well, that's good to know. Now, what about the various divisions? You have the heavyweight, cruiserweight, super lightweight, Bantamweight, super bantamweight,
middleweight,
extra skinny.
Yes, they do have quite a few divisions.
Now, is that good for the sport?
I think it is. I think it gives more kids an opportunity to become a champion and gain recognition, fame, claim, and affluence. And it gives a lot of us the opportunity to participate. I think boxing is the last vestige of the free enterprise system. It's the only business in the world that I know that a guy totally uneducated can become a millionaire. And if he has good common sense, he can then hire sense, in order to have longevity with his affluence. So I think that boxing is just a great sport. It's an individual sport, it's one-on-one, man-to-man, and I think everyone tries to emulate that.
Now, what about the possibility that too much product lessens the enthusiasm of the public? If you have all of these different classes, plus you have two sanctioning bodies. Now, what's the deal on that? The WBC, which you represent, right?
Well, no, I don't represent either of them, the WBC or the WBA. I have boxers that are under their aegis in their rankings.
Yeah.
They both are very nice organizations. I think the WBC is one that is most notable. It has 100 or more countries that it represents and is doing a great job of doing that.
But why do we need two of these guys?
Well, for whatever the reason is, they were there when I came in, and I find them quite comfortable to work with.
That was yesterday, today is today.
Yes.
One of those deals, huh?
Yes. And they govern boxing, David.
Yeah.
And they do a good job.
Yeah.
There's no alternative. I hear many complaints, many criticisms, many accusations, but no alternatives, So therefore, you have to deal with what is real. And what is real is that they exist, and they're doing a quite capable job because boxing has a resurgence now that is unprecedented.
Let me, well, that's certainly true. It seems to be more and more fights and more televised fights, and I would guess that the actual attendance is higher than it used to be.
Tremendous. It boggles the mind.
Let me ask you about your background. You actually did time, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I made the time serve me. I had 4 years in incarceration in Marion Correctional Institution in Ohio. I found myself with this time. It was excruciating, painful,
I imagine it was. Can I ask you why you were there?
Manslaughter. I had a fist fight in the ghetto, where others have many, many fights in the ghetto and nothing happens. I had a fight and the guy died. So I've suffered deep contrition for this, and I feel that the only way you can expiate is for your sins is by doing something for others. However, I was in the numbers business. Now the state is heralding the numbers business.
Yeah.
Everybody look, there's a lottery ball jumping up. The number is 978.
Yeah.
When I did that...
What was the number today, Don?
Did
you
get
it?
Did you...
Wasn't 978 though, was it?
No.
But in your case, you actually did rehabilitate yourself in prison, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I educated myself in prison. I read avidly all the philosophers, Socrates, Plato, Thoreau, Cahill, Braun, Marcus Aurelius, and I went to school by correspondence.
Yeah.
And it was a painful situation, but I found the jewel in adversity.
Let me ask you this. How did you you came out of prison a convicted felon?
Yes.
Now, how can you, is it possible for a man convicted of a felony to get a license to promote boxing exhibitions?
Yes, it is, only in America. I think America is just a great country, and I'm just delighted to be an American. I love my country, David. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And I think I've done quite well. I'm a true attestation to the American dream.
Now, how did you go from being in prison for 4 years to putting together the top fighting promotions in America?
Well, by faith in God, hard work, perseverance, determination, commitment, and performance.
Yeah.
And knowing Muhammad Ali.
Where did you meet him?
I met him earlier on before I ever went to prison. He was, running around barking, he's the greatest. And I had a nightclub in Cleveland, and he used to come by there to see me, and I became an avid fan of his. And being an aficionado of boxing, I would travel around to see him when he would fight. So from that friendship and relationship, a black hospital in Cleveland was suffering from financial woes when I came home from prison, so I initiated a fundraiser, and Ali was one of the ones who helped me to make this fundraiser a smashing success.
Of all of the fighters that you've promoted, was he one of the easiest to promote?
Yes, he's a very nice fellow, but I think that Larry Holmes, the heavyweight champion of the world now, whom I've grown with, is one of the greatest fighters I've ever seen, and most remarkable young man, and really a joy to do work with.
I guess it would, I couldn't let you go without asking probably the obvious. Every time I see you, whomever I'm with, I say, what do you suppose is the deal on Don's hair? So,
It's just great being on the David Letterman show. Late night with David Letterman, y'all.
but what, I mean, but you must, people must ask you that. You have
It is unusual.
Yeah.
You know, I think about that all the time. You know, I'm a very religious guy, David, and believing in God and reading the scriptures, you know, I kind of liken myself to Samson. You know, he was one of the heroes of the Bible whose strength resided in his hair until he told it to Delilah, and she quickly, you know, gave him a bald head, and he was no longer strong, you know. But I feel that it's an aura from God. It's our natural, you know. And I don't have to do anything to it. It just stands up by itself, and I feel that...
It certainly is distinctive. You're a distinctive gentleman. I appreciate you coming
David,
by.
it's my pleasure.
Pleasure meeting you. Don King, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to pause. We'll be right back.